Good morning, America. How are ya? Monday Morning Rail. We'll be 500 miles before the day is gone. The city of New Orleans. What a great song. Hi, I'm Denny Yelsma, and I'm at the world-famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. And today is Monday, and we all know what we do on Monday. It's show and tell. And show and tell starts right now. Show and tell starts right now. This morning we have the exciting show, one of the best that we've produced, and because it's highlighting one of our members that have built and contributed to a lot to this beautiful layout. You know, the old saying is that you're only as good as your employees or the company that you're surrounded yourself, and that is so true. One of the reasons why the Jacksonville Terminal Railroad is world famous is because we have such talented people, and today we're going to talk about one of the talented people, and his name is Bill Hardy. He is well known in the railroad, model railroading business. He is originally from eastern Massachusetts. He grew up there and around the Boston area, belonged to a very prestigious model railroad club there. And his passion for model trains started when he was a little boy, and he goes all the way to present day. And he loves the New Haven. Joined the Navy, went through the ranks, became a Navy chief, retired, and then he went into working in the naval aviation and retired again. And he learned a lot of skills from the club in Massachusetts to the United States Navy, and then working at Jack's NAS. And he's just a master model builder. And so it's just amazing of the work that he does. And I want to introduce Bill Hardy of the world-famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad, and he's one of our founding fathers of this museum. Bill?
Hi, I'm Bill. I got started in model railroading the way many of you did. When I was young, I started out with Lionel. Then somewhere when I was, I guess, about 14 or 15, I discovered HO. And I discovered there were some rather large clubs in the Boston area where I was from. And when I got to be 21, which I had to be to join the club, I joined, and there was approximately 100 members in the first club. So we had a talent pool to draw from, which I did. I tried to learn just as much as I could. Scratch building kits, laying track. I wanted to know as much as I could. Then in the Navy, I got transferred around. I lived in Philadelphia for a while. I was in a club there. Spent time out on the West Coast. I then finally made it to Jacksonville, and was a member of the Gateway Club in Jacksonville, which is no longer in existence. We had to move, and most of us came here and built this club. And we try to represent the Jacksonville area as it was from the World War II area, late 30s up till the 70s, when Amtrak came along. We try to model the railroads that came into Jacksonville, the Seaboard, the ACL, the Southern, and of course the Florida East Coast. And we try to represent most of the bridges. I enjoy building bridges. And we try to build the bridges that are in Jacksonville, which there are many, and there are various types. There's drawbridges, swing bridges, and I think if you've seen around the layout, you've seen the various types of bridges that we've built. And I'm currently building the Florida East Coast Bridge that crosses the St. Johns River, which has turned out to be quite a challenge, but I'm progressing, slowly but progressing. So hopefully you'll enjoy this layout, and as we look around, I know Danny's going to show you some of the bridges, and I'm happy with them, and I know the guys here seem to be. So when you want to learn about model railroading, just do as much as you can, learn as much as you can. Read the magazines, watch TV. There's plenty of information out there to help you.
Well, thank you, Bill, for talking to us and and introducing yourself to the wide world of social media. The first bridge that I want to talk about that Bill Scratch built is the St. Mary's River Bridge, and it's on the Atlantic coastline, and the bridge itself was actually built around 1920. That was double track. Before that it was single. The traffic got heavier and heavier, and this bridge, I really like it because it has a little bit of personal meaning to me, because one of our members, Little Joe Cetera, was at my house and he was helping me in my layout, and I had a pile of stuff that I was going to throw away or give to Joe to see who else wanted it, and this bridge that you see right here was one of them. And he says, hey, I want that bridge because Bill Harding, he's building the St. Mary's River Bridge, and he could use that. And I says, okay. And man, 6 months later, this is what we have here. What a gorgeous scene. Now, all of these scenes and bridges that you see are actually made at like Bill Hardy's house. And we have a few other people that made bridges, and our whole theory was that they could build it at their house at their own leisure, not be interrupted. And Bill built this bridge here at his house. And when he brought it in, I'll never forget it, I just stood with just absolutely awe. But you can see the scenery underneath the bridge. It's totally weathered. It is just an absolute gorgeous scene, and I feel this is one of the showcase bridges that we have on the Jacksonville Terminal Railroad Museum. Our next bridge that we want to highlight is called Dinsmore. It's just a small creek north of Jacksonville. Bill Harley made this, and you can just see how it's got it's weathered, plus it has the greenery all around it. And also we have two rail people, and there's a significance about this particular scene. One of our members' father was the conductor on the train, and Mike Steamy's dad was the conductor, and he wasn't supposed to be there, and when the train went by, he shook his finger at him. But this was the Dinsmore Bridge. Park Avenue, we were, this is a very interesting bridge, because when I first came to Jacksonville in 1971, the first bridge that I really saw a train go over was the Park Avenue Bridge. But Bill built this, and you can see what a gorgeous bridge, and it is absolutely phototypically correct. Took pictures and even measured everything about the Park Avenue Bridge on the Atlantic. Our next bridge is on the Atlantic coast, on the south end, right off of Roosevelt Boulevard, McCreek's Creek, and it's a drawbridge of the Atlantic coast line. And once again, Bill just did an outstanding job. We have swimmers, we have the boat sails place, the river, the water even looks accurate, and this was the going south on Roosevelt Boulevard, right next to the Roosevelt shopping mall, and McCreek's drawbridge. Lights Bridge. Okay, Augustine, and you can see this bridge right here. It's just, once again, I just in awe. We actually have two. We have the railroad bridge, and then we have the highway bridge. And once again, Bill goes out to each one of these sites. They photograph, they measure. The amount of work that Bill puts into these is absolutely amazing, and that's the reason why our bridges are so gorgeous. And that's on the Florida East Coast, double main line, just north of St. Augustine, is the Dunn's Creek Bridge. The next bridge we have is the Trout River Bridge. The Trout River Bridge is once again it's a swing bridge. It's an outstanding bridge on the seaboard. This is the north end of Jacksonville. It was single track, and this was a high-speed bridge, and the famous Silver Meteor and the Orange Blossom special went over this bridge. And if you just look at the detail that's on this bridge, it's just phenomenal. And all, once again, because of Bill Hardy. The next bridge on our tour here is called the Amelia Island River Bridge, and it's the branch line of the seaboard that went from Yulee over to Fernandina Beach. And it's a single swing bridge. Once again, this bridge was photographed, measured. It's just absolutely amazing. The channel is real narrow there because they had because it is a navigable water space, and they were able to build a walkway out to the bridge tender. And our club, we have a lot of stories about our club members talking to the bridge tender as we rail fan in this particular area. And that bridge is still there, and the seaboard ran 2 to 3 trains a day, mostly pulpwood, and just another exciting bridge. Next bridge is called Hogan's Creek Bridge. It was on the seaboard, and this is just in the downtown near the old Gator Bowl. They had a seaboard switcher, and when they tied up at night, this engine stayed on the bridge. It was kind of unique. They had the little workhouse there. Bill, this is one of his later bridges. Once again, Bill Hardy did a fantastic job on Hogan's Creek in downtown Jacksonville. There's one more bridge. It's called the Beaver Street Bridge over Hogan's Creek. Just a small bridge. Our next bridge is called the Beaver Street Overpass, and this particular bridge was built by Bill Harding and Richard New, one of our other members. And you can see still has all the smoke marks. It's just another beautiful bridge over Beaver Street. It was called the Beaver Street Viaduct Bridge. Bridge that we have here is called the Myrtle Street Underpass. This was kind of famous because it flooded. They did have pumps, but when we got heavy rains, it couldn't keep up. And also, it had years ago, it had a trolley line that went right through the middle, and that was taken up when the trolleys ended. But it's called the Myrtle Avenue Underpass, right at the west end of the Jacksonville terminal. And then right above it is the I-95 bridge. And this was built with Richard New, built the top of it, and Bill Hardy did the bottom. And this is wood, and what he actually did is he took a miter and made the concrete marks. And once again, another fine bridge that Bill Harding in conjunction with Richard New did. The next bridge we have is an overpass right in front of the Jacksonville terminal. And I would stand on this bridge and watch trains when I first came to Jacksonville. It was just amazing. But the Lee Street Bridge, once again, this bridge was built with Bill Hardy and Richard New. And just another absolute gorgeous bridge. Our last bridge is called the Riverside Overpass, the south end of the bridge, and it is another gorgeous structure that was built with two guys, Bill Harding and Richard New, and it was Riverside in downtown Jacksonville. Well, that's the way it is at the world famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad Museum in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. And now you know why this is world famous, because of this man right here, Bill Hardy. And we thank Bill for all the hard work that he's done. And that's the way it is.